fight commentary breakdowns. So what we have here is a case study in what happens when a type of kung fu or two types of kung fu go against each other, and both of them have never really sparred or really had any kind of real combat before.
This is old school, 1954.
Old school, 54 in Macau. Macau was a Portuguese colony at the time. So this is the only reason why this occurred. The Chinese Communist government in 54 would have never allowed this. So
Right in the face.
Right in the face. Sticking their chins out.
Always keep your guard up.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Just
these
throwing
guys,
haymakers.
they're throwing from the hip.
Yeah.
They're just throwing these. And what's interesting is that they are not punching with their knuckles.
Yeah, they're not.
They're like punching with the palms of their hand. They clench their fist, but they don't punch with their knuckles.
Yep.
Broke
One
his
is a
nose.
Wu Tai kind of, or Wu style of Tai Chi, and one is a white crane. I don't know which is which, but at this point you can't really tell because once you get punched in the face a few times, any sort of your flowiness just goes.
Yeah.
You become either haymaker throwers or kickboxers.
Mark Hunt was famous for saying, if I punch you in the face, you go from a black belt to a purple belt. I'll punch you again, you go to a white belt. I love this. I love how they're basically taunting their opponent.
Exactly.
They're like, if you come near me, I'm going to strike you.
Yeah.
He's just going around. These guys are so funny. They put one hand out to brace when the other hand is like way down by their hip.
Yep.
I wonder why. Oh, this is a replay.
Yep.
Blocked it, but yeah, so he didn't take a huge hit there.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting a little lit up here.
Yep.
But these are like glancing because they're not punching with their front two knuckles. They could easily break their wrists.
Yep.
I mean, this looks like two little kids fighting.
It does. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Oh, right there. It was great, though. Okay, so that's great. I mean, in terms of, like, traditional boxing, you pivot your ass out of the way, and then you deliver a hook simultaneously. And when you pivot like that, you basically go on your heels, and what that does is it opens up your range of motion for your hook. And because they're already coming forward, they're off balance, and when you hit them with that hook, it's really significant.
Haymaker City, man.
Yeah, dude, these guys are wild.
That guy threw a little kick, dude. I think that was it, man. I think. Oh no, I don't know if the match continues. Okay, I guess it continues. This is the second one, the second bout. They're much more controlled now.
Yeah, they've been hit. They're like tired of it.
And God, I hate the swinging and having their chin all high.
Yeah. Well, these guys are, they are just testing the waters.
Yep.
They don't know what they're doing. Look, see, he just hurt his wrist.
Yeah.
He's like, I just broke my wrist.
Why no? Throw more kicks, man. Come on.
Yeah, 0 kicks.
Yeah.
At least he's got the jab going.
Yeah.
He's trying to. That's interesting. He actually struck the hand. He's striking the hand.
He is.
That is so interesting.
They would go through kicks.
I never ever thought to strike a hand except to like parry. You know what I mean? So that I could strike the face until I started training Kali with a friend of mine, and she was explaining how she has Kali and she has like a eskrima, so she has knives and sticks and stuff like that. And she talks about how they work their way inward. You know what I mean? They cut fingers and
Makes
then
sense.
slice tendons in the forearm or whatever, and then work their way to the heart. Whereas I'm thinking like as Muay Thai, I'm thinking like body shot, head shot.
Yeah. Yeah. If you can break a finger, break their finger, and then you break their hands.
This dude is like literally just bringing
Hammer
wrath
fists.
down on that lead hand.
Yeah. So this is the third angle of the same second bout.
Man, it would be so fascinating to send a fighter back in time right here.
Yeah, and just teach them.
Oh my gosh.
I love the windmill, the hurricane.
I call that the Homer Simpson.
Homer Simpson.
Or the Bart Simpson, I guess.
The Bart Simpson.
I'm just going to do this, and if you get in my way, it's your fault. Oh, that was a good feint. He's like, I'm going to step and then stop.
This is what you saw when he was trying to attack the hand, and boom!
Oh.
But I think that haymaker might have hurt his hand, too.
Yeah, he like broke his wrist here, because look, he's like, oh no. Dude, getting hit on the back of your wrist like that, and on the top of your hand, hurts so much. You have so many nerves there.
Oh, true. Oh, he did throw a kick.
Good, finally.
That's probably because one of his hands was hurting.
Yeah.
That was a lazy kick by the other guy in response.
Yeah.
So I think that was it, man.
Wow, 1954.
1954. This was Kung Fu versus Kung Fu, a style of Tai Chi versus a style of White Crane. I don't know what White Crane is. Probably a style of more wushu type of Kung Fu. But yeah.
Those didn't look too different for me. I think those were pretty similar.
Yeah, because they've never been tested in combat. So in combat, you don't know how to apply all this stuff. Yeah. And then you realize a lot of the stuff, as long as the opponent's not moving with you, you can't apply a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
So, wow. Dude, classic, man. Fight commentary breakdowns.
The evolution of fighting.
That's right.